Okay, so this is a cheese game I played recently on the ladder. It's instead of doing a more standard build, you do what's called a cheese, where you do some strategies that your opponent can't be prepared for. There's no way for them to know ahead of time that you're doing it. Like even the fastest scout won't tell them that. It's just like a way to test that they have enough defenses built, especially that they're not playing too greedy, which in this game means that you're making a lot of workers and expansions, but not actually making any units to defend it, because you're both of the thought that, well, my opponent's not going to do anything that will kill me right now. Unfortunately, this one's going to not work as we end up seeing. So my opponent here is playing Protoss, doing a normal thing, make a pylon and then a gateway. That's pretty standard. A lot of times they'll also throw down an expansion right after that. But you see in this game, that's not what my opponent does. They just send their probe off to go scout. I'm going to see it coming to my base here in a minute, and I'm going to know, okay, that's late enough. It's just a scouting probe. It's not trying to cannon rush or anything. Cannon rush isn't even good against Zerg if they're not taking their expansion, because you can't actually put cannons on any of the creep. But I sent out my probe really early before their my drone out before their probe could get here, so it wouldn't be seen. I'm taking this base way over here instead of my normal expansion up here. Doing it so I can be right next to my opponent's main base. I can get an upgrade for the Overlord that lets it change into a flying transport to then pick up and drop off units using this little ledge here. Because again, this is close by air, but not by ground. My opponent has ground units that are trying to get over to the base. They have to walk all the way down the ramp here, around this area, and then down to here. Now, this is high ground, so it can see down, and I can't see up without some way of granting vision, like a flying unit. So the ground units can stand here and shoot toward the base I'm making here. I'm just hoping that my opponent won't have seen this in time. Unfortunately, my opponent is doing a really good build against what I'm doing. They make a bunch of gateways, which let them make more units. Getting a later expansion just keeps you safe against nonsense like what I'm doing. So I made the Zergling speed upgrade. That's very normal. An evolution chamber really early. That is not normal. The evolution chamber unlocks an upgrade that lets you make your overlords into a transport unit. So this is the first overlord I sent out that normally you send to look at what your opponent's base is doing. But I didn't want it to be seen. So I sent it over here, and I didn't make it into one of the dropper overlords. Unfortunately, I think my opponent sees this, gets the vision on the creep over here from my base in just a second, and realizes something fishy's going on. Yeah, see, there it is. You can see it. Nope, even sees my drone for a second. So I know something is up. Brings the mothership core over here to check out what's going on. Flying unit, attacks ground, powerful spells. So I load up all these Zerglings. I'm going to try to bring them into the main base and drop them off, but I wait too long to do this. I really need to have the Zerglings here sooner. So my overlord gets over here, and then the mothership core uses its ability on the pylon to make it a defensive structure for a while. It has a very powerful attack, and I think I might get to unload a Zergling, if that. Yeah, I unload a Zergling, which immediately gets killed by these ones. So at this point, I've basically lost this game. I don't have a second base effectively, because this base is not where I can really defend it. I have just full saturation on the minerals here. There's enough drones harvesting. So I have one base worth of resources to work with. My opponent has two. He's just starting to make use of this second base, but also has a whole bunch of production in a place that is much more central than mine is, because Zerg hatcheries is a production, so my two production areas are here and here, so it's hard for my army to group up. Or my opponent's production is here and here, and now here and here, which is all very easy to group up, like, say, right by this ramp, or to defend this ramp. So I go for some roaches and some queens just to try to poke and prod at my opponent, see if more things are going on. Nothing ever really works out. I've basically already lost this game at this point. I'm just going to plus, times 8 it through it. So my opponent does come over here and start killing the base. I make some more units, but it's not enough. I even make some siege units, but it doesn't matter. My opponent just has too good of a wall, too much of an army. Eventually, I'd have to run away. My opponent even starts taking a third base here in a second. So I figure, well, my only chance here is to expand a bunch, hope my opponent doesn't attack me for a while, because I'm so far behind in everything right now. I have to just kind of hope that my opponent doesn't come. But as you can see, if you look at the mini-map, coming. And attacks my third base location, which I really have to get up and not have attacked for I'll have any chance in this game. But my opponent didn't give me that chance. So that's it for this one.